What is it?
It's a condition when you overexposed to the sun.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
not really a stroke, is it? It's not the same as a stroke.
No, not the
No.
same.
It's not as severe, is it? But
No.
it can be quite bad though, sunstroke, can't it?
Yes, it can't be. Yeah.
It can be quite extreme. Okay, yeah. And out of the blue,
It's phrase.
it's a phrase. What does it mean? Out of the blue?
I'm not sure, but it seems like not good, bad.
It's not negative. It's not positive. It's not about that. Think about things which are blue. You've got the sky
Yes.
and you've got the sea.
Yeah.
And do you know what's in the sea?
Uh, yes. Many creatures.
But you don't know exactly though, do you? It's like a hidden world.
No. No. Yeah.
So imagine that something just comes splashing out of the water into the boat.
Yeah.
It came out of the blue.
Oh,
So
so it's not give me a chance to know what it is or
it's
expected.
unexpected, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when we say it's unexpected, it's completely unexpected. So let's
All
say,
right.
for instance, you haven't seen your brother for 15 years, and then one day, knock, knock, knock,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you mean.
he turned up out of the blue. It's a really nice phrase, isn't it? It's a good one. Okay, let's go for Erzat next. Thank you, Tasnim. Erzat, put up
Yeah.
with.
I think it's verb.
Yeah, it's a phrasal verb.
Phrasal verb.
It's a phrasal verb.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Put something with something somewhere.
Well, if we look at, I could take this away and it's a completely different word now. But if I put with on the end of it, it changes it completely.
Oh.
So to put up, if you want to put some pictures on the wall in your house, you put them up. Okay. It could also mean, let's say, again, I'm going to use brother. Let's say that your brother needs somewhere to stay in London overnight. You can put him up. Okay. So that means you're providing accommodation. But to put up with, do you want me to give you an example?
Put something to stop something with something.
No, it's not.
No.
You're not stopping anything. Okay, so you're doing the opposite actually. So last night there was a house alarm going off in my street. It was in the middle of the night and it was really, really loud. And I was lying in bed and I said to my wife, I don't know how long I can put up with this. What do you think is that?
Like to bear.
Wait a second. There's that.
Yes, I'm not sure I understand. Alarm.
Yeah, so an alarm was going beep, beep, beep,
Okay.
beep, beep, beep. And I said to my wife, I don't know how long I can put up with this.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So tolerate.
Tolerate, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tolerate.
Okay.
Bear would be a good one as well. I don't know how long I can bear.
Tolerate, yeah.
I can't.
Resist.
Well, can we use put up with, I put up the pain?
You can put up with anything that you can tolerate. You can put up with. Okay, so you can put up with stressful working environment. You can cope with, put up with, tolerate, anything like that. Stress at work, the weather, it could be a noise, it could be pain. To tolerate, to put up with. Okay, it gives you the sense that you're slightly annoyed by the thing that you're tolerating. That's what it gives you the sense of. Phrasal verbs are a crazy part of English because you just take that away. Changes completely. You put it back again. Only one possibility. All right. What about flare up, Erzat?
Flare up is verb, phrasal verb.
Yeah. Well, no. Not with this. Not with this hyphen in it.
Okay, it's verb.
It's a noun.
It's noun.
Yeah. As a verb, it's this. What's the difference?
With hyphen. Okay.
Yeah, no hyphen.
Okay, no hyphen. Okay.
Yeah. So if something
Yeah.
flares up, yeah. So what does that mean in Erzat for you to flare up?
Something worsening.
Something worsening. Well,
Now, what's the condition like? How exhibitions?
like eczema.
Eczema, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give you two examples, and you tell me which one's a flare up and which one's not. Okay. My daughter has had eczema since she was 3 years old.
Okay.
It started out as just a couple of patches, but now it's all over her arms and legs. It's 5
It's
years
not
later.
flare up.
Okay,
Spirit.
that's just deterioration over time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, or worsening or exacerbation. Okay, a flare up. My daughter has eczema. Generally, it doesn't cause a lot of problems, but sometimes if we change washing powder, it can get suddenly worse.
Right.
That's a flare up.
Flare up, yeah.
So it doesn't last for a long time, a flare up. It's generally a temporary thing and it happens quickly. All right. Telltale.
Yeah.
Let's wait. Is that Rima? Are you there, Rima? Put your hand down, guys.
Yes.
Once you've had your
Yes,
go.
Paul.
Go on, Rima. Telltale. What's that? A telltale?
Telltale, I think it's noun.
Noun. No, it's not. Well,
Mm.
no. Okay, it can be a noun, but
Yeah.
not very often. What does it mean?
Middleman or gossiper.
A gossiper.
Yeah.
A gossiper. Okay, so let's say that there are two children, brother and sister, living in the house, and they're friends. Normally, they're having really good fun, and then the boy pulls the girl's hair, and the girl goes off and she tells the mummy, "He pulled
Yeah.
my hair." You would say you're a telltale.
Mhm.
So it's not just gossip. Okay, it's not gossip because gossip would be something like, "Did you see her makeup today? It wasn't very nice." Yeah.
Okay.
You're not telling an authority that someone's done something naughty. That's what a telltale does. Okay. But you never
Is the same of snitches?
a snitch. Yeah. Yeah, it's a snitch. Yeah, or a grass in the UK.
Grass.
People say a grass. So sometimes if you're walking through a neighborhood, it might say John Jones is a grass. That means he talked to the police. Okay. So but in this case, it's not that. Unfortunately, Rima, it's not that, it's something else. So let me give you an example of a telltale sign. We're going to use it as an adjective, okay? A telltale sign. So a telltale sign of meningitis is a rash.
Indicative of sign.
Yeah, so a telltale sign is a sign which is indicative of something. It tells a tale, and a tale is a story. Okay, a tale. So I could say, I want to tell everyone a tale about Snow White. That's an old type of story. A tale can also be a lie. Stop telling tales. That means you're telling lies. There's loads around this, but in OET, it would be used as a telltale sign. Telltale sign. It's something which is always indicative of a specific problem.
Definitive.
It defines a problem. Yeah. Stakeholder.
It's noun.
Noun, isn't it? Of course, that's a noun. Stakeholders, they're people who've got they're important people in any process.
Members, maybe,
It could be
of the
members.
organization.
They're not always members though, because it could be let's say that hey guys, no jumping in. We've got a lot of people who are enthusiastic, but no jumping in. Okay, I'll call you. So, or type it in the chat box if you've got a question. I know there's a lot of hands up at the moment. I might not see it. Type in the chat box if you've got a suggestion. I'll be happy to bring it in. So stakeholders are not always members. Okay, let's say that the NHS wanted to do a survey of how good their service is. Okay, well, they would possibly ask doctors, nurses, porters, cleaners, but they would also ask patients. Okay, and they might ask family of patients. All of those people are stakeholders in this process. They're all important people who are affected by the process, who you should always consider when you make changes. Okay, they are stakeholders. So it often gets used. It often gets used when people are managing a process or they want to change something and they say, we're going to talk to all of the stakeholders. Okay.
For the decision making, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But most of the time they're probably lying. You know, they say they want to talk to all the stakeholders, but really they know what they want to do. They're going to try and convince all of the stakeholders, and sometimes even ignore the stakeholders. Yeah, so Shafiq, you're right. Yeah, people directly or indirectly involved in a project, program, or activity. That sounds good to me. Okay, I'm going to do a couple. Pointed. Okay, pointed is a weird word.
Yeah.
It's an adjective.
Adjective.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's a past tense of to point.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what it sounds like, pointed. Let's remember, guys, on mute, okay? Instead, it's not, it's emphasized. That's what it means. A pointed remark that someone makes is a kind of saying, they're saying something, but they're emphasizing something. Okay?
Highlight.
It's a strange one. It's highlighted, emphasized, adjective. It's an adjective. Profusion, well, any word that's got an ION at the end like that, you should straight away, it's a noun.
No.
Okay. Profusion, remember, guys, don't jump in. I'll ask if I want people to help me. So a profusion means a lot, suddenly a lot of it. So
Abundant.
right now, I'm getting a profusion of suggestions from people in the class, which is great. But it's a bit noisy, but it's a profusion. That's what it is. It's an interesting word, that, a profusion. Okay. The adjective would be profuse. Okay. Profuse suggestions. There are profuse suggestions. That means there are lots and lots of suggestions. Okay. Profuse is a good one. Okay, Sebchan, are you there?
Yes.
Umbrella term. Tell me what that is, an umbrella term.
I don't know. It's what its meaning.
But you know both
check.
words, don't you? You know umbrella, and you know,
Yes.
and you know term as well, don't you? Okay. I can hear some whispering in the background. No whispering, guys, while people are talking. So an umbrella, you know that. An umbrella is shaped like this, isn't it? It's shaped like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, fruit is an umbrella term. Because underneath it, you've got apples, oranges, bananas. So an umbrella term is one of these general nouns that cover many different types of things. So healthcare professional. Healthcare professional, that's an umbrella term, isn't it? Because, you could be a nurse, a doctor, a dentist, a podiatrist. There are many different, even the word nurse is an umbrella term. There are many different types of nurses, aren't there? Who've got different responsibilities. So an umbrella term is one of those words. Verb, noun, adjective. Okay, they're umbrella terms. There are loads of different varieties of them. Okay, so umbrella term is a compound noun. It goes in here. Umbrella term. Okay. What about abandon, Sebchan? Have you ever abandoned anything?
Abandon. Yes. Leave. To leave.
Yeah. To leave behind. I'm going to put it here. It's a verb, isn't it?
Yeah.
To leave behind. When you think of abandon, does it give you a positive or negative feeling?
Negative, I think.
Negative. So if you abandon a baby,
Yeah.
it means
It's negative.
you just put the baby in a basket on a doorstep and then run away. That's abandoning.
Yeah.
If you abandon a project, it means that that you don't finish the project. You just leave it and you just forget about it. You abandon. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Next, let's go for Farouk.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Cornerstone. What's that?
Like a cornerstone, like the stone we know, the keystone.
Yeah. Okay. So if let's say that this is a
It's a
building,
noun, yeah.
it's a noun. Let's say that this is a building. You need to get your cornerstones ready first, don't you?
Yeah. The base of something, the
Yeah,
key.
these are the foundations, aren't they?
Yeah.
In so that the building is strong. These are your cornerstones. So it doesn't get used like that very often. Instead, you talk about it as the most important part of something.
Yeah.
So what do you think the cornerstone of language learning is?
It's vocabulary, so.
I would agree. I think vocabulary is the cornerstone of learning a new language. Okay, good. What about differ? What about differ, Farouk?
Yeah, differ means vary, not little.
Yeah. So it's a verb, isn't it?
Yeah.
To differ. So how do you think that Afghan cooking and food differs from British food?
Of course, because in British food, the people not use too much spice.
Yeah, spices and herbs.
Yeah, and also they are not fried too much. But
Yeah, that's true. It is a bit boring, isn't it, British food? It's a bit boring. There aren't many herbs or spices in it,
yeah.
unfortunately. So that's how it differs. To differ from, that's the preposition that we use with it. Okay, I'm going to do a few more. Burden is a noun. Okay, that's a heavy thing to carry, but it can be an emotional thing as well, or an abstract thing. I could have a heavy work burden. Do nurses have a heavy work burden?
Task. Yes.
Well, it's not task. A task is one job, like I need to go and take blood out of Mr. Johnson's arm. That's a task. A
A
burden,
lot of work
yeah.
Okay.
So
in their back.
on their back. Yeah, that's the idea of it. So a burden is something that you carry on your back, but it could also mean something a bit more abstract. It could be a heavy emotional burden. You know, let's say that your child is being bullied at school. Well, that's an emotional burden to carry. Okay, it's not always to do with actual weight. The joys of spring. Oh, what a lovely phrase. The joys of spring. What time?
Exciting.
Well, let's wait. What time of year do the joys of spring happen?
March, April,
The answer is any time.
and time is.
Okay, I met Layla yesterday. She was full of the joys of spring. That
Yeah.
just means extremely happy. If you're full of the joys of spring, you're really happy. But the idea is it gives you this sense, doesn't it, of new life. The sun's coming back. There's rain, rabbits, green grass. That's the idea of it gives you. So if you're full of the joys of spring, you're happy about something. Like if you've just got a really nice salary increase, you would be full of the joys of spring. That could happen in November. All right. Down in the dumps is also a phrase, isn't it? To be miserable, a bit depressed. But
Depressed.
well, depressed is serious, isn't it? Depressed is
Yes.
serious. Depression.
Just low spirits.
Yeah, down in the dumps is not as strong as depressed, even though people do use depressed. Oh, I feel depressed at the moment. They might not be depressed. They're not clinically depressed. But down in the dumps, yeah, you're just a bit
Sad.
miserable, low mood. Let's wait, Sepchan. Okay. All right, let's go for Anthony. Are you there, Anthony?
Hello.
Clammy. Have you seen that one before? Clammy.
Yes, big, wet, or cold.
Yeah. So when you're clammy, it's an adjective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Clammy hands when you shake hands with someone sometimes and it's slightly wet. Or if you're feeling a bit, you've been outside and you're feeling a bit sick and your neck's a bit clammy, it's a bit wet, a bit cold. Yeah. Cave can be that, clammy as well. Downward spiral is a noun. Positive or negative? Anyone?
Negative.
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 Yeah,
Negative.
overwhelmingly negative. Now, it's not the same as a vicious circle. Okay, a vicious circle is something that that goes round and round and round, and you can't stop this bad thing from happening because this happens and that causes that happening and that causes that happening. It's not 100% the same because in a vicious circle, it doesn't necessarily get worse and worse and worse and worse. Okay, so for instance, it might be your relationship with your mother. Okay, well, I go there and she annoys me. And then I say something bad to her, and then she annoys me again, and then I say something bad to her. It doesn't necessarily get worse. It just never stops. But a downward spiral is similar shape, but it's just something that gets worse and worse and worse. So my life has been on a downward spiral since I got divorced. I got divorced, then I started drinking more, then I lost my job, then I started drinking more again, and then my kids said they didn't want to see me, and then now I'm homeless. That's a downward spiral of things getting worse and worse and worse. Wealth, everyone knows that one. Okay. Wealth is a noun.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always relate to money. If I've got a wealth of experience,
People had experience.
it just means I've got a lot of something, a wealth of something. Stigma, we could be here forever talking about stigma. Yeah, that's a noun. Stigma is when
A shame.
something that's wrong with you in the eyes of other people.
Disfigure your
It's not-
emotion, disfigure your emotion, your physical body.
It could be something to do with the physical body, but it's not always. It's just something which you consider bad about someone else generally. You feel like other people are going to judge you for it. So a social stigma, for instance. If you go back in 50 years in the UK, if you were a single mother, there was a social stigma about that in the UK. Okay. It was something which was considered bad. Okay. Liaison,
Noun.
that's a noun as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
To come
Layla, wait, Anthony. Layla, what's the verb for liaison?
Liaison.
No, that's the noun, liaison.
Liaison with?
The verb,
yes.
liaise. And it's such a strange word. Look at that spelling, liaise.
Yes.
It's a French word. There's a famous movie and book, Dangerous Liaisons, about a love triangle between three people who love each other. Okay, eye opener, something that is surprising. If it was an adjective, it would be eye opening. Okay, something that's surprising. Then we've got stumble upon, really nice phrase. I'm going to put it here. It's a phrasal verb. Okay, to stumble upon. Layla,
Yes.
do you ever stumble upon bargains in the shop?
Stumble upon with what? Which
Bargains.
yeah, I know if word bargains. I don't know.
Okay, so you know sometimes you go shopping and you think I need to just go and get my food shopping, and you're not thinking about bargains. You're thinking, I want to get this mince, I want to get these vegetables, but
Sure.
then when you get there, you see, wow, look at this lobster for £2.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
you
I-
weren't expecting to see it, were you?
Yes, of course.
You stumbled upon it.
Stumble.
Can anyone think of a verb that means the same? Another phrasal verb that means the same as stumble upon.
Surprised.
Come up.
No.
Unexpected.
Come
across.
across. Yeah. To stumble upon, to come across, they mean the same thing. You're finding it unexpectedly. So to stumble means that you're just walking and you sort of lose your balance a little bit and your feet go, but you don't fall over. Okay. If you stumble upon something, it's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, what's this? I've just found this thing. Okay, to stumble upon.
It's
To
all
hum-
positive, or I thought it sometimes can be negative. What do you think?
I can't imagine. I don't think anyone would ever use it in a negative way. I don't think they would. To stumble upon. I stumbled upon my wife and my brother. I don't think you'd use it I don't think people would generally choose to use it as a in a negative sense. Maria, hone. Have you ever honed anything?
Yeah, myself.
Oh, really? What do you mean by that then?
No, it's to like shape, perfect your skills,
Yeah.
your knowledge.
Yeah. But you generally don't hone yourself, unfortunately.
Yeah, my
I know what you mean, but it's generally skills, isn't it? So where does it come from though? What do people typically hone in Roman times? Or what did the Vikings hone?
their skills of fighting,
Mm,
breaking.
it comes from knives or swords. To
Yeah.
hone a blade is to make it sharp.
Sharp, yeah.
That's where it comes from. So you use a whetstone, or you might use another type of stone, and you hone it. So you're sharpening. That's what it means to hone, to sharpen. Okay, and bounce ideas off. This is great. We're bouncing ideas off each other now, aren't we? We're bouncing ideas off each other. I'm saying something to Maria. Layla's saying something back to me. We're saying ideas to each other, and it's a way to get new ideas, to hone ideas, to refine ideas by talking to each other about it.
Exchange ideas.
Be like
You're exchanging ideas, yeah.
brainstorming. Or...
Brainstorming, yeah. When you brainstorm, you're bouncing ideas off each other, and it's like the idea as a ball, isn't it? That's the idea. Concerted means it's an adjective. Concerted means you're putting in more effort than normal. Okay, you're doing it more than you normally do. Okay, focused is an interesting idea. Yeah, a focused effort, concerted, and it's got nothing to do with the word concert. Got nothing to do with that. If you put a concerted effort in, let's say, now let me ask someone. Let me go to Christina.
Yes.
Hi, Christina. Do you try hard when you're working? Do you work hard?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any times when you might work harder than normal?
Yeah. Put myself into limit. Yeah.
But say that again.
Put myself into limit.
Is that an idiom? Put yourself into the meat.
Limit.
Limit.
Oh,
Limit.
okay. Push yourself to the limit. Yeah. When you push yourself, okay, so that's an idiom, push yourself to the limit. Yeah. But I'm thinking, how about this? Normally, you work quite hard. Okay. But if I say to you, Christina, if you finish all of your work within the next hour, I'll give you a 10% salary increase. Would you work harder?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay. So you would put a concerted effort in over that next 1 hour. That just means you're working harder than normal.
Yeah.
That's what it means, yeah. So I think the phrase, sorry, I thought I heard you say, put myself into the meat. I thought that's
Oh, sorry. No,
okay.
limit.
Push myself to the limit. So
Yeah.
sorry about that. Yeah, that's an interesting phrase. I was thinking maybe you've translated from your language. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay.
No.
Good. So great. Bespoke means tailored.
Tailor-made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Custom made.
Custom made, tailored, personalized. Yeah. And
Sorry.
Format, technique, and practice. This is the usual formal structure for these types of classes.
Okay, so here I am with Edwin. Hi, Edwin.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, nice to see you. Okay, so Edwin, you are an OET hero, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, super. So where do you live?